So Matthew Milia is lead singer of the Americana folk rock band Frontier Ruckus. They started about 11 years ago. I've been following them ever since their debut, and they built an audience pretty quick because what they were doing was really, let's say, stylized. They had an atmospheric blend of guitars and banjo and singing saw underneath Milia's lyrics, which were just very eloquent stuff and very mesmeric. They're like a photo gallery from his memory of growing up here in Michigan, so there are a lot of references to specific landmarks from his memory. It's almost like going through his diary, but he was delivering it to you in this kind of enticing AP English style vocabulary. It was really great. That's how he set himself apart, and now he is going solo just for this album. He's still with Frontier Ruckus, of course, but there's a solo album called Alone at St. Hugo that Milia is putting out. Party at the Loving Touch. Anna Birch is going to be there. Anna Birch, a former member of Frontier Ruckus, and she put out a solo album last year that really made a splash. Another band I really dig is going to be at this party, Career Club. They make kind of eclectic art pop with minimalist rhythms and keyboards and interesting melodies and lyrics. But anyway, Milia is a songwriter you should know. We featured him on the latest and local column at WDET.org if you want to read more. This song from his new album is called Puncture.
That's new music from Matthew Milia here on 101.9 WDET. The track Puncture, you can catch him for his album release show over at the Loving Touch this Friday evening. Moving right along to...
Well, Detroit-based musician Matthew Milia is known as the former lead singer and songwriter of the Americana folk rock band Frontier Ruckus. But after 11 years, he's releasing his first solo album, Alone at St. Hugo. The album, out May 3rd with a party at the Loving Touch in Ferndale, will feature Milia's eloquent lyrics wading through a series of memories, local landmarks, personal experiences, and of course, nostalgia. The album was recorded in Ypsilanti with Ben Collins of the shoegaze trio Mini Horse. Milia played some tracks for us here at WDET, and Jeff Milo spoke with him about his memoir-like lyrics and what it feels like to go solo.
I would say I just feel more in control of whatever emotion. I'm completely in control of it, but I have a little more agency over the whole emotional interior situation that propelled me to try to write in the first place. And yeah, I do rely heavily on specificity. I feel like the more specifically I write, the more detail that I can, from my own memory, that I can kind of put into a song. It feels kind of unleashed from my psychology.
I text myself to make sure the world didn't turn to vapor while you might have been trying to contact me. So I'll spend a mild winter having reconciled the printer.
Frontier Ruckus sort of came onto the Detroit, Southeast Michigan, and grander Michigan music scene about 11 years ago now, and you've had that band. Now you are a solo artist. How are you feeling about that?
Oh, I don't know how to feel about it. It's the same kind of thing as that I'm used to. I just write a batch of songs, I record them, and I put them into the world, and this whole cycle of anxiety starts, and I wonder why I did it in the first place. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Being 10 years into it now, it's funny. I'm coming full circle, and just all the industry elements and all that stuff is just completely faded away from my mentality and just completely writing for myself, and it's really pure and wonderful. I've been blessed with amazing bandmates in that band, Dave and Zach and Anna, for a long time, and they always, I just wrote the songs however I was feeling at the time, and they, obliged and then lended their amazing musical gifts.
Still be there in 2 Januaries, I can't say, but either way the snow falls. I should do myself a favor and curb this young behavior before my tongue slips in.
The album's called Alone at St. Hugo, and St. Hugo was the Catholic school I attended for 9 years. Like Frontier Ruckus, like a building I've been in for 10 years. I like to write about spaces that I've inhabited for a long time, like Metro Detroit, which has been the building of my life for my entire lifespan, kind of chronicling how those places change over time and how age kind of confuses and all these eras of experience blur together, just kind of like the municipalities and townships of Metro Detroit blur together. There's kind of a classroom motif that goes through the album, hence the title. I think the title occurred to me originally because I was fantasizing about communicating with my 5th grade self in the computer lab after school, in Latchkey, waiting for my mom to pick me up. Like, if I could talk to myself through the early modem, my adult self communicating with my 5th grade self, the things I would say and how I would translate my experience, vice versa.
So I brought you down to my world with mention of how it once was. Before the roaring snow melt left me here. Yes, I brought you down to my world. You can hear the soft buzz.
Age is kind of like this fluid thing in the record. A lot about adolescence, but then like an abrupt description of like the weirdness of adulthood and how it hits you quickly.
You've always been a very existential songwriter.
My existence is all I think about. It's my burden and my blessing.
And then listeners should know there's a release party coming up May 3rd at the Loving Touch with Anna Birch, who used to be in Frontier Ruckus.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about that, and thank her for joining me on the night to celebrate.
Well, maybe Karen's just a kid, but I still wanna know what she hid inside her little room. Inside her, feeling like a little boy with nowhere else to go, with nothing left to taste but spit and gloom. And how'd you get so prone to this exaggerated loneliness? You can't even catch your breath at all. And Karen just turned 21.
That's the music of Detroit singer and songwriter Matthew Milia. His first solo album is out May 3rd. He's going to have a release party at the Loving Touch in Ferndale with special guests Anna Birch and Career Club. And he spoke with Jeff Milo for WDET's Storymaker series. And you are listening to Culture Shift here on 101.9 WDET. Cloudy skies for the rest of this afternoon. Make sure you grab your umbrella if you are headed out the door.